I want to begin this message of mine with a story. And the story will form the basis of what I want to give to you as a bullet point. A professor had a driver. How many of you have seen a professor before? Okay, there's one here. It's called Professor Hammond. And he had a driver. How many of you have also seen a driver before? Papa lawyer, you know a driver. And one day the driver told the professor that I've been with you for 15 years. We travel around to do everything together. They give you a very big money, and you give me very small. But anything and everything I say, or you say, I can also say. The professor said, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, when you go, you tell them you went to Harvard, you went to Yale, you went to Oxford, you went to this, and then you stand and you talk. And when you finish talking, they ask you about 3, 4, 5 questions. And then when you finish answering, they give you big money. You just give me small. But I do the driving. When you are even sleeping in the car, I drive. The professor said, okay, tomorrow I'm going to preach in another place. I'm going to speak, lecture. Do you want to be the lecturer? I said, sir, I will shock you. I will say things you've stopped saying in the past 15 years. So they went to the place. And he was given the chance. The professor took his tie and gave to him. And he also, foolishly or wisely, took up his cap and gave to the professor. And then the professor went to sit at the back seat, where normally he sits. And he stood at the podium like I'm standing now, or like Brother Bidiaku or Professor Hammond did, or like my brother Honorable Adekoka did. Eloquently spoke, and people kept clapping for him. But then when he finished, it got to question time. How many of you that know the guns on that? First question, when they asked him, he has never heard that question before. So he says, is that a question you want to ask after all this eloquent lecture? Because he gave us an excellent lecture from the notes he's had from the man for the past 15 years. Is that all you can ask? Even my driver at the back there can answer. So the driver got up and gave an eloquent answer. Wow. Second question. Oh, that was worse than the first one. Is that a question you can also ask after all this eloquent lecture? Even my driver at the back can answer. The driver got up and answered. The last question was the third question. Unfortunately, it was from the organizer himself. Professor Hammond, can you imagine the organizer herself asked the question? And the man said, you too, the organizer, you don't understand. Even my driver at the back can answer you. So the driver got up and thanked them, thanked the organizers, thanked the thing, went through all the protocols, and when he finished, as they were clapping, the organizer said, well, we brought a professor to come and give us a lecture. He could not answer one question. Rather, it was his driver who answered all the questions. So the money we have, we'll give to the driver. So why did I tell you this story? I want to give you this bullet point of mine. And based on that bullet point, when we finish and you're asking questions, you have a lot of room to ask questions. My background is economics. I studied in the Budapest University of Economic Sciences. Most people, when they say Dr. Tetteh, they assume everybody's a theologian. I've never been to the School of Theology before in my life, even though I've had a chance to serve as a representative of Oral Roberts University. I've never myself studied theology before. My preaching is by calling. I studied in the Budapest University of Economic Sciences, which is one of the Ivy universities in Central Europe, and also had a privilege to come and study at the London School of Economics. And so I'm an economist and international relations aspirant by profession. But I love preaching more than what I do. In fact, I don't want to be like Professor Hammond and Lawyer Mediaku. So let's go. Leading for sustainable economic growth in a multipolar world. the role of emerging leaders in election 2024 in Ghana. And my introduction here is simple. As Peter Drucker, the renowned management expert, wisely noted, that there are no underdeveloped countries. We only have undermanaged ones. There are no what? Underdeveloped countries. We only have countries that are undermanaged. And I believe when my two younger brothers spoke earlier, they preempt a lot of things here. Many countries, including Ghana, do not necessarily lack resources, and I agree with you. Instead, they often struggle with utilizing these resources effectively. The path of sustainable economic growth lies in investing in management capabilities and fostering effective leadership, particularly among the emerging leaders. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us that we have a collective responsibility, and we, the emerging leaders, have more responsibility than anybody. So push somebody and say, you have a responsibility. Regardless of your race, your creed, your color, your size, and as an emerging leader, you have a responsibility. The importance of leadership and management, and that's a key thing I said here. The histories of high-income countries like Japan, South Korea, and Singapore demonstrate the role of management excellence in economic development. I think the earlier speakers couldn't have even mentioned that better. In fact, they made my work here very easy. Please clap for the two of them. They like you, do it better for them. Your question time, they are the ones who will be answering your questions. A misguided approach of development, focusing on prestige projects with low societal impact, has failed many countries. Instead, investment in local ecosystems, including small business and local manufacturers, yield greater benefits. Professor Hammond just gave you instances of Dangote and Siam Ajipon. Siam Ajipon is not an academic. I don't think what I can write and what Brother Bediako can write and what Professor Hammond can write, he can write it. I don't think so. I know in most cases you have written his speeches for him. And congratulations for those things. There was one, though, my wife proofread it for him. Leaders that recognizes and direct capital where it can have a broader societal impact will drive long-term economic growth. And yes, political system and economic growth has a place. Professor, according to a man by the name Darren Esmonglu, he was at MIT. He says political equality is key to underpinning economic prosperity. And I agree with him. Countries with inclusive political system that promote political and prosperity rights, enforce laws, and provide infrastructures, experiences sustained economic growth. It means we have a lot to do here as a nation in Ghana. I believe my father will be happy now that I'm going by my notes. In contrast, countries with extractive political systems, where power is concentrated in a small elite, tend to experience short-term growth or no growth at all. And you will agree with me that in the system we live in here in Ghana, Winner takes all. What did I say? Winner takes all. The role of innovation is very important. Sustained innovation depends on the ability to embrace change, even when it threatens existing political or economic privileges. Very important. Change is very crucial. Trust me. In countries where elites resist change due to fear of losing power, human capital development suffers, ultimately leading to stagnation. And I think I will not be missing words at all if we all can agree here that that is what we are going through now as a nation. Unfortunately for us, Lawyer Bediako and Professor Hammond, when you speak your mind in Ghana, you are put in a political box. It's very sad. And that I send that message through you, Honorable Adekoka, who is a politician. You people should stop putting us in political boxes. The academics and the clergy and the former member of the estate, we must have the right to speak our mind. To avoid this, Ghana must prioritize. And I believe that one of the biggest challenges we have in Ghana is that we don't prioritize. Our priorities are misplaced. Look at the amount of money we spend on cars and VATs. And ask ourselves how many incubators we have in our hospitals. How many hospital equipment we have in our hospitals. And yet still, one minister or one person can have many cars and spend money, national money, on fuel. And yet some people are dying. It is very important that we prioritize. And by investing in education, promoting entrepreneurship, and fostering industries with high value such as advanced manufacturing and technology. There's so much we have that can help us build. And hear me, when I listen to Adekoka, and I listen to Bediako, and I listen to Hammond, I dare say this, shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. And I use you as point of contact to say shame to all our elites. I was watching Brony Bediako. Look, you stood here. I loved you. I fell in love with you. I listened to Adekoka. When I came first, I was standing at the top there. Powerful. We just listened to Daniel Asumani. Powerful. And look at the way Professor Hammond even corrected his name. The wisdom without embarrassing this MC. Seriously, clap for him. I was impressed. Now, if we have all these abilities and we are still hungry, then shame on all of us, except me. Excluding me. So, I want to give you some keys. In fact, it was these keys my wife read through this morning on my WhatsApp, and she felt I should take my time to take it through. So I'm going to do some 5 keys. Key strategies for emerging leaders. Number 1, let us invest in education. Not just educating others, but also educate ourselves. Professor, you agree with me that these emerging leaders we have now, they don't read. I sit on panel to interview students who are going to do master's degree. and they don't know the minister in charge of the subject they are going to read. How silly. Without missing words. How stupid. Without missing words. How foolish. That you don't know that you are going to read economics, and with all the things you don't know the minister of economics. You are going to read medicine, and you don't know who the minister of health is. I'm sorry for you. It means you must recheck yourself again. So, I say number one, invest in education. Education is the foundation for a skilled labor force that can adapt a new industries and technologies. Invest. Now tell me, Adekoka, Nana Champon, Daniel Asumene, Brony Bediako, Professor Hammond, but for education, or Lawrence Tetteh, but for education, do you think we'll be seated here? No. So if you want to emerge to become what we are today, you must read. You didn't clap for me because you don't like that. Number two, encourage innovation and entrepreneurship. Leaders must create an environment that supports risk-taking and new ideas. He told you about how Zoom Lion, Joseph Sian Japon, didn't go to any university. He went to a technical school. But today, professors like him and academics like me all follow him. It means if you build yourself well and you take that risk of investing, you have a future that can be acknowledged. Number three, promote high-value industries by investing in sectors like technology and advanced manufacturing. Ghana can position itself for a long-term success if only we can invest. And trust me, it must begin from you and I. It must begin with you and I. It must begin for you and I. Number four, institutional reforms. Reducing corruption and improving governance are essential for building trust and entrusting. Something that will be attracting foreign investment. And let me also pause to say here that sometimes even what we say and how we say it matters a lot. That is why we don't have to undermine people's hard-won reputation, because we live in a global village now. And anything that drops here today, anything that drops here, you don't need to have the cameras here. Everything is being recorded. Whatever we are saying now is going viral. It's going worldwide. Let's be mindful. Number five, embrace global trade. A global trade. Emerging leaders must recognize the importance of integrating Ghana into the global economy while maintaining the flexibility to adapt to changing conditions. Don't be too stiff. Don't be too stiff. Be flexible. Let's learn the good things from other people. One bad attitude with Ghanaians is that we learn only the bad cultures. I know bribery. We pick it from the white man. Bad people. It's a white man that taught us bribery, corruption. They came to give our older people mirrors, and they took gold away. And when you see yourself in a mirror, you go and carry more people. In fact, slavery even started with bribery. So, in saying that, let us look at the mistakes of the past. The old Washington consensus, which promotes policies of liberalization, deregulations, and deindustrializations, low and middle income countries contributed to premature deindustrialization. Trust me, I recoined this thing. And when it comes to question time, those of you who don't really understand this, just ask me a question, I'll explain that to you. Countries like Ghana experience intense competition for global manufacturing demands, but lacks the public infrastructure and governance needed to capitalize on foreign investment in technological advancement. Emerging leaders in Ghana must avoid the mistake of the past and focus on creating a fundamental condition, such as a strong institution and human capital development that will allow Ghana to thrive in the global economy. Professor, I picked a few things about lessons from the Asian tigers. And I suspect some of you came to my house this morning to watch my notes. I even suspect Daniel Moore. Did you come to my house early this morning when I was putting these notes together? Because almost everything I had in mind, you hadn't. It means we are thinking alike. It means we all know the solution. What are the lessons? The economic success of countries like South Korea and Singapore were not due to natural resources. No. I've been to South Korea countless times. In fact, I was made a UN ambassador in South Korea from the Peace Council. I was made a peace ambassador in South Korea, Seoul. And I've been to Singapore several times. In fact, the first time I ate butterfly was in Singapore. And the first time I ate frog was in Korea. My God, I've eaten things, man. But the economic success of countries such as South Korea, and Singapore were not due to the natural resources, but rather visionary leadership. The problem of Ghana is that we don't have visionary leaders. I'm sorry, but we don't. I'm sorry that all the political leaders in the Fourth Republic, I can say I relate to all of them well, but I'm sorry, we don't have visionary leaders. We don't have visionary leadership. That united politicians, bureaucrats, and entrepreneurs with a shared goal of economic prosperity. We need to come together in a massive united front to build this nation. We need to come together and where? In a massive united front to build this nation. In 1960, Professor, many would have predicted that countries like Sierra Leone and Ghana and maybe Nigeria or even Liberia would outperform Singapore due to the abundance of natural resources. However, Singapore's leadership and strategic management propelled it from third world to first world status within 2 generations. Ghana has supported Singapore before. Ghana has supported Malaysia before. In fact, you said it. So what went wrong? What is the cause of where we are today? That we don't even have a natural cohesion. We don't have a succession plan. We cannot even sing moral song. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. Your nation requires your devotion. So let all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all. You see, you can't sing involved. We are all, because your father is guilty, your mother is guilty, your auntie is guilty, your uncle is guilty. I say, we are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. We are not patriotic. If anybody had put a bet that Ghana would be better than Singapore, or Singapore would have been better, would be better than Ghana, we all know what the results would have been. So the key takeaway here today, for the youth of Ghana and those of you here, I am in my 60s now, so I'm on the 6th floor. I'm closer to my death than you are. The key takeaway for Ghana's youth is that the difference is outcome, and its outcome lies not in geography or resources, but in the quality of leadership. Good leadership, good governance that prioritizes long-term national goals over short-term political gains can change the trajectory of an entire nation. And Prof. and Papa Lawyer, I don't think it's late at all. Honorable Adekoka, it's not late at all. Nana Berma Achampon, it's not late at all. And my son, Daniel Somene, is certainly not late at all. We just have to wake up from our dreams, wake up from our sleep. We are sleeping on the job. We must wake up from sleeping. Let me conclude. As we approach election 2024, Ghana's emerging leaders have a vital role to play in shaping the country's future. Let us for once vote on values. You didn't hear what I said. I say let us for once vote on values and not for t-shirts and cutlass. You didn't hear what I said. I said let us for once vote on what? And not for t-shirts and matches. We've become too cheap. And because of that, the politicians don't respect the electorates. The last time I saw a politician bluffing, I look at my thumb like this, and I look, I say, why are you not looking at us? Oh, my friend, my thumb will determine your fate. You don't seem to know that. Leadership is not about holding power, but about serving the people. And unfortunately, Professor, Honorable, Ohini, and Papa Lawyer, we are not serving our people. Our leaders are not serving us. They are serving their mother, their father, their son, their daughter. And it is the whole, and it's what are you people doing? What are you people doing? Leadership is certainly not about holding power, but about serving the people and making decisions that benefit all. Nepotism, cronyism, bootlicking, family gathering. Shame on all of you. I say shame on all of you. By fostering inclusive governance, encouraging innovation, and promoting good management practices, Ghana can escape the cycle of underdevelopment and emerge as a strong player in the multipolar world. This particular piece was written by my wife. Barbara, thank you. I thought when she sent me this one on my WhatsApp, I thought, Barbara, thank you. Barbara, if I have the chance to marry, I'll marry again. You couldn't even clap for me. I'm playing love from here. That is also part of the innovation, so the home will be at rest. Remember, the future of our nation rests on your hands. Lead with vision. Lead with integrity. Lead with respect. Lead with humility. Hey, Professor, one of the things that is lost in Ghana is this subject called humility. And I dare say that the reason why our politicians are not succeeding is that they are not humble. Across board, they are not humble at all. They are doing yes and massa when they are looking for the vote. When they get the vote, they are not humble at all. And this is not a religious platform, but I dare say that God has left certain people. When Solomon finished the temple and went to God that I finished the temple, my father couldn't finish, God spoke to him in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked way, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and heal the land. We have left God. That is why God too has left us. Now we are playing chaskale with God. Decide who God is and what God does and what God doesn't do and what we think God would do. If you're Ghana can escape the cycle of underdevelopment and emerge as a strong player in the multipolar world. Remember, the future of our nation rests on our hands. Lead with vision, like I said. Lead with integrity. Lead with humility. Lead with selflessness and a commitment of sustainable growth. And Ghana will rise to meet the challenges and opportunities of the global economy. And hear me, God bless you.